Hello everybody, this is Joe the Maniac, and it's time for the Maniac to react. Today we're looking at a LEGO Brickumentary. This is a new documentary that came out July 31st, 2015. This movie was directed by Keith Davidson and Daniel Junge, and I shouldn't say movie, but I feel like I should in a way. It has a story to it, even though it's a documentary. It pretty much follows, you could almost say, 4 different stories at the same time. We have stories from things such as the early days of LEGO. It briefly outlines the history of it starting as a company, because it doesn't want to go too much into detail about it. It wants to focus on the culture of LEGO. LEGO has become such a big phenomenon in recent years, and it's just continuously growing, and I think that's a really good angle for this movie to go in, to see it from the viewer's perspective, what the fans are doing with LEGO, and what they, can inspire, what LEGO inspires them to do. And you get to see that in a whole bunch of different ways. You get to see it from kids that are just in different countries. You see it all around the world. You get to see with different artists that are making it into little bits in society, little interesting and colorful things. Even have people like Nathan Sawaya who have artwork really make you think and feel, even though it's made out of LEGO pieces. And to treat it as an art medium is just fantastic. Just the work that he does, it's been amazing for a long time. You also get to see how it works from the LEGO perspective, how LEGO has been making it as a LEGO set, or making, the master builder models for Legoland. It's all there. It's really a neat back and forth between the two, and how they influence each other. I mean, the fans influence LEGO itself. LEGO influences the fans. It's a mutual exchange, and I really enjoy that. You can really see that throughout this movie, throughout this documentary. You even get to see it from a perspective that is more interesting to kids, where you get to see a lot of creativity come out for them. Kids that may have a little bit of trouble getting creative ideas are inspired to work with LEGO and really get, their thoughts out. And it's very encouraging for parents, adults, everyone. Even if you're not into LEGO that much, or maybe you used to play with them but you don't do it anymore, it's still worth looking into, because there's so much in store for anyone that's watching it, even if you're not a big LEGO fan. Now, to those who are big LEGO fans in the community, there are a lot of familiar elements. You do know things like Nathan Sawaya, the basic LEGO history. You may even know some things like, the LEGO Star Wars X-Wing. They show a whole bunch of that process without making it boring. You get to see all the behind-the-scenes stuff of doing the concepts and putting it all together and getting the ideas. And even you get to hear about LEGO's near bankruptcy in the late 90s, early 2000s, which I think was pretty exciting. I was actually looking forward to seeing that and learning more about it. This movie has a lot for people to learn about, even if you're a big fan of LEGO like myself for a long time. There's so much to this that you could really absorb, and no matter what you're doing, it has the basic message across. 1, you're not alone in what you do. There are plenty of other people who do the same stuff as you in their own ways and support what you do. 2, just because you get a box with instructions doesn't mean you have to stick to just that. You can make anything with what's in that box. And 3, even role models can be inspired by you. Just because they're at a higher rank doesn't mean that they're always, looking up. I mean, they are looking up for the future, but they still care about what other people think around them. And not in like a self-conscious way, but in more of like a, how they influence others, how others influence them. Again, that mutual exchange, I think, is a good factor in there. They talk about all these different conventions that LEGO fans have developed on their own, and LEGO as a company was really surprised by that. They really enjoy it, even. There are, on iTunes, if you get this, it's $15 to just buy the movie outright in the United States, $15. $7 to rent it. But when you get it on iTunes, you get an HD version, and it includes extras. The extras give you at least another about 16 minutes or so of content that is out of the documentary that you can watch separately. Some of us in the LEGO community may be familiar with Carter Baldwin from Brickfest Live. He makes a feature in there with Brolug. There's also a good 15 minutes or so about the first LEGO League, which is really, really inspiring. I didn't know too much about this until I saw that. Basically, it outlines the idea of kids thinking beyond LEGO. And a lot of the movie dictates it too. Like, thinking outside of what you can do with just putting pieces together and making cool looking models, but actually trying to solve problems. You know, learn a bit about engineering. Applying these concepts to the real world and make it a better place. And I think it's a good message. Plus, in that movie, in that little bit of the movie, for the first LEGO League, they talk about this girl, Carla, who's new to the team, one of the first LEGO teams, and her experience in trying to really branch out. Again, the idea of sharing an interest with other people you may not even know, and being able to put your talent to work. Now, throughout the movie, I mentioned before that LEGO goes beyond what we normally think of as LEGO. I mean, they show in the movie that you could not only make giant models with it or make interesting architecture. There's definitely a lot of architects that are inspired by LEGO. They use it constantly for modeling and getting easy to make concepts for what they're building. In fact, the whole LEGO architecture theme was based on an architect. And that's a really exciting story, again, for me to learn. Because there's so much more to LEGO than meets the eye. They even have it for, like I said before, about kids that may be struggling with creativity. You know, they mentioned one place in New Jersey, heyo, and and they have a center for autistic children. They have a class in there in which children get to work with each other. They get to be in a social environment and try to work together in groups to build models out of LEGO. The creativity as well as the social interaction helps with their development, as proven by studies. This is just a fantastic movie. I mean, documentary. I keep saying movie because it feels so... I mean, I'm not too familiar with documentaries. I've watched only a few of them ever about any given topic. But for me, this feels like a movie because there's a story to it. There's a driving force. There's a power to it that really shows in all different perspectives. I recommend watching it if you have the time for it. It's only an hour and a half. And again, the extras footage is about another 20 minutes or so, which is still enjoyable. So, overall, I'd give this 1 out of 1 giant green bricks. Yes, that is a giant green brick based on my Sig Figs green brick. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And be sure to check out Brickumentary. And if you can't find it on iTunes, try to look anywhere else online for digital downloads for it. There are some movie theaters that do play it, but since it's a documentary, it's not widely available, but it's still out there. And it is also on demand from what I've heard. So again, check with your cable providers for how you can find out more about this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time with more videos.